So the other day I bought this. This is the DJI Mic 3. And okay, I can't take the thing off now, but here we go. This is the DJI Mic 3. And I also have the DJI Osmo Nano. Okay, the DJI Osmo Nano. Now, what camera did I used to have that I loved? Well, I used to have the FDR X3000, and the thing about that camera is it had an internal mic that was better than probably any action camera that you could imagine. Any camera nowadays had a way better internal mic, stereo audio. I mean, it was beautiful. And they didn't have it anymore. So I got my DJI Osmo Nano, and I was really hoping that the audio would be a little bit better internal. I'm a guy that likes to record internal audio, and the reason for that is I want to get a little bit of the ambient noise, as you can hear with this iPhone microphone, right? So I want to capture that in this camera. The thing about this camera is this microphone is not getting the ambient noise that you're going to want to get when you're trying to record a real vlog. So the other day I put two and two together. I was like, all right, I have this microphone and I have this camera, and after I got my firmware update, they both seamlessly connect. You know, as soon as I turn on both of these pieces of technology, well, they connect instantly, and it's very convenient. And I thought, well, my internal microphone, it is stereo. It's better than the Go Ultra, because they lied about that being stereo and it was actually mono. At least this one's kind of stereo, because as you can see, this side is one microphone and this side is another. Kind of stereo, I guess. But I was thinking, how can I get good audio from the source of the camera that can pick up my voice, but can also pick up immersive audio from environmental audio? How can I get the soundscape of the place I'm in? I don't personally just want to only record my voice. I want people that watch my video, especially if I'm traveling to a different country and maybe I'm walking around, and I want people to get the feeling that they're actually there with me. Well, this is what I came up with. As you can see, this has a magnetic backing, and this is also magnetic. And unlike the Mic 2, which was too big, this connects pretty seamlessly. I mean, it's that simple. It's that simple. So, when I first got it, I was trying to connect it this way, but that's not, it doesn't work. This way doesn't work. This way kind of works, but not really. And at first I was upset about it connecting on the back, and really only on the back, because over here it doesn't connect as well. But again, over here it connects beautifully. I was disappointed, but then I realized a lot of cameras that have a good audio system, they actually do record from the top. So let me take this off real quick, right? Dang, that was harder to take off than I thought. So, as you can see, there's a big area that the audio can come in. So the audio comes in through here, and you can see the mic area is actually very big as well. So the microphone is recording from the top, and actually most camera setups do have this, and it's going to capture audio from the front and from the back at the same time. So this is actually probably one of the most optimal arrangements that you can have, because, sorry about that, when you're shooting from the back, the audio of you speaking will get to the microphone instead of it being face forward. But when you're shooting from the front, and I've tested this, the audio also reaches the microphone very well. Now, what I personally did is I turned off all of the sound processing because that's not what I wanted to go for. So I turned off sound isolation, voice isolation, all that type of stuff. And what I ended up getting was I ended up getting audio that sounded a lot like my FDR X3000, where it was just a simple microphone that captured audio. I want to be able to process the audio how I want to after the fact. I don't want over processing that will be saved onto the file, because then I can't reverse that. I'd rather I do vocal isolation if I want myself later on. And then, you know, if I'm feeling like it, I can also separate my voice from the background layer, and I can make my voice a little bit louder, and I can overlay it onto the environmental audio, and then I can get I can set the environment audio however I want, if you know what I'm talking about. So this is actually a great arrangement. Now let me turn this on real quick. So as you can see, the mic's on, right? And let me turn on the camera real quick. And what you'll see is that it connects instantly, although sometimes it takes a while to turn on. So that bar right there is the microphone. So as you can see, it connected instantly. That's pretty cool. So yeah, now another question you might be having, another question you might be having is, well, is this secure? Now, I'm gonna say I was surprised at how strong the magnet is. I think it's neodymium, and when I was pulling it, I'd say it takes 5 to 10 pounds of force, maybe. I'm not really good at this, but it does stay on pretty strong. And the crazy thing about it is I actually feel more confident that this microphone will stay on the camera when it's connected in this location than this thing right here, which it's never failed me, but I just almost feel like this thing is less strong than this magnet right here. And let me show you what I mean. I can really shake the magnet and it might move a little bit, but it doesn't fall off.
This horse was...
Are you kidding me?
Okay, so I was wrong. I guess it does fall off a little bit, but that was a lot of shaking. Let's see. Let's do it again. So I guess if you shake it like super hard, then it will fall off. Oh well. So the point is, you know, it stays on pretty well. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a video. So I'm gonna take a video with the internal mic, and then I'm gonna take the same video with all these ambient noises with this mic, and I will be, just for reference, I will not be using any vocal isolation or any sound isolation or anything. And I'm just gonna let you guys hear the difference. One last thing, I tested this in wind, and this dead cat is extremely effective. I'm not even gonna lie. It's extremely effective, and I think with the DJI Mic 3, the quality of the overall audio is better as well. Now, one reason the dead cat's super effective is DJI nailed the material science here. So the thing about a dead cat is that you want every fiber of the dead cat to be as tiny and lightweight as possible, because in order to absorb the sound energy, you need to convert the sound energy into physical energy. So the dead cat absorbs the movement of the wind, and by absorbing that, it makes it so that the wind doesn't make it to the microphone. The reason I bring this up is if the dead cat is made of very, very light, very soft materials, then that means that lighter amounts of wind will not be able to get through the dead cat. Whereas if you had a very stiff dead cat, well, the light amounts of wind might just make it through because they're not going to be moving the stiffer fibers anyways. So it will pass right through and get to your microphone. So anyways, now that I've said all that, And by the way, I've tested this in the wind. It's very good. I'll put all of my tests up here and I'll show you guys what I've got. And after the tests, if you feel like buying one of these or one of these or my this little adapter. By the way, this is another fun layout that you can do. I mean, that's pretty minimal if you ask me. You know what I mean? So there you go. That's about how much energy it takes to get this thing to fall off of your camera. And I keep breaking it. I keep putting more dents in the thing. Oh no. Anyways, I'm gonna show you guys the test. If you feel like buying one of them, I have the links in the description, and yes, I make money from it. But if you're gonna buy it anyways, then it would be nice if you use my link. So anyways, here are the tests. Let's roll the tape. All right, everybody, we are at 4K 30, 10-bit color. And this is my test with the DJI Mic 3. And just for reference, all the ambient noise you're hearing is the noise that the Mic 3 will be picking up with the wind muff on, and none of the audio processing, post-processing features enabled. So, just for reference, my own ears are picking up wind right now, a bit of that wind noise. However, it probably is not going to be showing up in the audio that you're hearing. So the dead cat is doing quite a fantastic job. Now I'm going to stop talking and I'm just going to capture some of that ambient audio. And if you are one of the channels that walks around and does walking tours, and you want to capture good ambient audio, this might be a good option for you, especially if you're looking for a camera that captures good detail in a small form factor that's inconspicuous and won't change the vibe of the video because people are looking at your camera. I don't know if you guys can hear this, but there's some ambient music being played. So now this is forward facing at a full arm's length away. I'm talking to the camera the same way a vlogger would. Hopefully there's some ambient audio that you can also hear, giving you a nice mix of ambient noise and microphone capturing my voice. So this is my city, by the way. I live in Rochester, New York. I'd say it looks pretty nice. It is a fall day here in Rochester, New York. And at this point, we are now going to be converting the video to no microphone, internal mic only. Alright everybody, the internal mic is now off. This is the same ambient noise I was talking about before, and I'm holding the microphone the same distance away from myself. as I was before. So let me know if you can pick up on any wind noise. There may be a slight difference in the wind test due to the fact that I'm walking into the wind at this point. So keep that in mind, because I'm hearing a lot more wind in my ears, meaning I'm probably walking into the wind more. Just to keep it fair. So let me know what you think about the ambient noise. Let me know if it sounds more clear, if you can hear that school bus, if the sound of the cars driving by is clear. If the sound of the ambient music is just as pleasing. And now I am doing a vlog style video where I'm holding the camera the same amount, the same distance away from me, and I'm talking to it at the same volume. So this is a test for vlogging. Let me know if the audio is more clear. Or if it sounds worse. So now I'm vlogging from the back. So this is what I would say if I was in a different country. What's up, everybody? Today we're in Buenos Aires, Argentina. And today I'm going to be trying to make it to El Centro. Let's see if you can hear the ambient noises all around that give you stereo audio and make you feel like you're there.